Good morning, Intenders.
Good morning.
Welcome back once again to Morning Intentions. Today is Wednesday, November 12th, and we're continuing on with What's Your Why? That sounds like a cool game show if you ask me. When I say it like that, I am loving this month. As I've been saying throughout the month, I keep checking in with my why. And I have found some authentic whys. I don't want to just leave us all hanging and thinking every why I've ever had is inauthentic. That isn't true, and that's not true for everyone. We have authentic whys, we have inauthentic whys. As the name implies, as Morning Intentions implies, when we have awareness, when we learn, when we grow, then we can be intentional about our whys. We can intentionally choose authentic whys that have meaning and purpose. We're not left swirling about saying, what kind of why is this? Is it authentic? Is it inauthentic? I don't know. When we're intentional, we have more choices. Today, we're continuing to focus on hustling for approval versus acting from purpose. When we hustle for approval, that's when our whys become inauthentic. When we act from purpose, when we go deep and we're choosing and aligning from our values, that's when we know it is an authentic why. Since we talked so much about hustle culture last month, we're going to forge ahead and focus on acting from purpose. Because we do want to get into, how do you create an authentic why? How do you have a why that comes from meaning and purpose, as Annette shared with us yesterday?
Meaning, purpose, and authenticity.
Yeah, that's how you put
words. Those are our words for the month.
Yep.
Meaning, purpose, and authenticity. Those are guideposts. Am I acting from this place inside of me that there's meaning there? What we're going to talk about today is aligning with our values. Is there this sense of purpose? And we really can only have this sense of purpose when we are acting and aligning with our values, not focusing on achievement. And then, of course, authenticity.
That's right. When we're coming from purpose, our motivation is flowing from within. As you have said over and over, and I love that you keep reminding us of this, is when we have a healthy and authentic why, we're living from the inside out, not the outside in.
We wanted to give some real tangibles today. So when we're living from the inside out, we are clear about what our values are. So we won't go through it again, but the values work is essential. Because if I'm aligning with my values and not my achievement, I can recognize this sense of purpose within. I know the experience of not being clear what my values are and then kind of swaying with the wind. Like, oh, how do I show up here? Oh, how do I show up here? And we're saying, well, we want to rescue ourselves from the hustle culture. And how do we do that? Well, understanding our values is extremely important. Also, our beliefs. We can be clear about what our beliefs are. That's why we started this week, Are You Living Somebody Else's Why? We can be living from somebody else's beliefs, but they may not even be our beliefs. We don't want to live somebody else's why. We don't want to come from this place where it's somebody else's beliefs. We want to have our beliefs, and it takes some work to figure out what those are. And they won't be set in concrete and in stone. I mean, our beliefs are going to evolve as we learn and grow. But at least we're being true to ourselves. We're having that authenticity. And then one thing that we wanted to bring up is sometimes we're going to call it an inner calling today. But sometimes we are very sure about what actions we want to take in life. We can't really explain it. We just know I really believe that this is what I'm to do next, or I really believe that this is a certain action that I need to take and I want to take. That is less concrete, and yet it's true. I mean, I know that experience. Do you know that experience, Ada, where you can't really explain to somebody else why you're doing what you're doing? So we just start with why. I don't know exactly how to explain it, but I know that I'm being called to go see my dear friend, and we don't maybe know why exactly, but we know it inside. So this is a little more subtle, but yet we're sure. So start with why. I have this feeling inside that this is what I want to do or that I need to do.
I have had that experience. And what I've learned is the test for that experience is if I feel a sense of peace.
Yes, we wanted to give some tangibles there too today. We're going to feel grounded, we're going to feel peaceful, and we don't even care if anybody else understands or notices. We're going to feel grounded and we're going to feel peaceful.
Right. We'll know. For me, it's the opposite of the inner ugh, where I can
Yes.
know, oh man, that doesn't feel right. I just know it in my gut. I can feel it. It doesn't feel right. Even if I act in opposition to my inner ugh, I know it's there. When I'm in alignment with who I am and I'm in alignment with my beliefs and I know my why and it's authentic,
And you're living your values.
100%, that's when I have this sense of inner peace. I know that this is what I'm supposed to do. I can feel it. And there's no question about it. I'm not hemming and hawing and saying, is this the right thing for me? I just know. And I know so strongly I can act on it. And getting to the essence of it, I feel in peace when I'm expressing who I truly am. And I feel that inner ugh when I'm just trying to prove myself to other people.
And that's the bottom line, isn't it? When we're hustling for our worth, we're always trying to prove ourselves. So even if we have what we're using, we didn't really know how to express this, so we're using like an inner calling. When we have an inner calling to take a certain job or visit a friend or do whatever it is, that proving kind of goes by the wayside because we're being authentic. Like we're trusting ourselves. Because when we're living our purpose, we don't need to get permission from other people. It's coming from inside of us. That's an important thing to think about, because how much of our lives have we said, oh, I hope it's okay that I'm doing this, or oh, I hope everybody approves of me doing this. We're kind of trying to get permission, even if we're not asking formally for permission. In our minds, we want the other people or the other person to say, oh, it's okay. But there's sometimes when we're acting from our values, when we're acting from that place of authenticity within us, it doesn't even matter what other people say.
And please be patient with yourself if you're new to all of this. If we've been living from a place of inauthenticity for a long time, and don't beat yourself up about that, even if that's you, it's hard to be authentic in this world. It's hard when there's so many messages saying this is how you should show up to be included in this family, or to be part of this community, to be part of this church or this workplace or this country. There's so many messages saying this is how you should show up. When we're spreading our wings, being true to ourselves, it's not an easy task. So please be patient with yourself, because it can take a while to even figure out what's the authentic answer for me. How do I even know I'm being true to myself? And the answer is it takes practice. The more we practice living from this authentic space, checking in with ourselves, going within, discovering what's our why, the more we do that, the easier it gets. But the first time we do it, the 10th time we do it, it's not easy. So please be patient with yourself and keep practicing. I'd like that to be our intention for today.
I'd love that.
Our intention for today is I will be patient with myself as I move from hustling for approval to acting from purpose. I will be patient with myself as I move from hustling for approval to acting from purpose. Thank you so much for joining us today and every day. Our day is better because you are part of our day. See you tomorrow.
See you then.